Hi everyone, this is the help video for Access Chapter 10. We're doing the training assignment, which is the Enhancing Database Reports for Red Bluff Golf Club. So one of the things that we're going to find when we start working with reports is that a lot of the knowledge that we gained in working with forms transfers to reports. So I think reports becomes a little bit easier, although reports are more complex. So stuff transfers, but then there's some additional. So I have my file open and I have my instructions. So try and get these instructions set up here pretty decent. And I have already opened my file and enabled it, so we're good. So in this one, we're going to modify a record. So nothing we haven't done in the past. We're just going to open up table member, look for member ID 1, which is Charles, and we're going to change his phone number. It's the last 5 digits to 6793. I'm just going to move off of that record and close it. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to build a report. All right, so let's read through this and see what we're going to build. And I wanted to tell you that really 99% of the time you're going to start a report with a wizard, because the wizard just does so many things for you that are just tedious to do manually. So you might as well let the wizard give you a starting point. Normally you do modifications after the report wizard does its thing, but you have a really good foundation. So we're going to use the report wizard to create reports to list all employees. Include last name, first name. So we're going to do last name, first name, and that's from table employee. And then schedule date from member lessons, and last name and first name from the table member. So we're going to build, one more, fee from member lessons. So we're going to use 4 different tables to pluck pieces of information out. This works because all 4 of those tables in some way are related. Right? So there's a line that connects all 4 of these tables. Okay, we're going to view by employee, sort by date and last name and first name, put summary options to sum the fee field, default layout and orientation, name it, and then, then we're going to change some things up. So really all of this stuff the wizard's going to walk you through. It's just hard. Not that it's hard, it's just a lot of steps that you don't need to do. So let's start with the wizard. So we're going to we're moving over to the group that says report, and we're going to begin with a report wizard. So the first thing that we want to do is pick the first table. So that's table employee. So we're going to modify this and pick table employee. And from table employee, we're going to bring over last name and first name. So employee last name, employee first name. Then our next information, schedule date, is from the table member lessons. So we have to click this down, pick table member lessons, and move schedule date across. All right, so there was only one field from that table Then we need to move over here to table member. So we're going to do the same thing. Click and pick our table or query. Pull over the field. So last name, first name. And then our last table is member lesson. And, member lesson. And we want to bring fee over. So let's just verify. So it's all the yellows. Employee last name, employee first name. Schedule date, last name, first name, fee. All right. So I am done with this piece. So I'm going to cross that out so we don't get confused. Accept the viewing by table employee. So when I hit next, it's going to say, how do you want to view it? We're going to view it by employee. Do you want any grouping levels? No grouping levels. So next. Do you want to add any sorts? Yes. Schedule date, last name, first name. So schedule date, last name, first name. And they're all ascending. Right? So right here it says sort ascending. Schedule date, last name, first name. Add summary options. So before you go next, you want to look at this little button right here and click on summary options. We want to sum or add together the fees. We want OK, next, default, layout, and orientation, next, and then we're going to call this RPT employee lessons _ a student. Finish. It's going to chug through and it's going to create this report. Notice that there's some issues we're going to have to work with, but let's just look at what we've got. Here is the employee by date, and then here are the members and how much money that member brought in. Here's the total for Barbara of all of her clients. John, here's John's, right? Employee 2. Here's Juan, Allie, Joe. Next page, right? And then look, there's a grand total. So all of that kind of work. And then look, we've got page 2 of 2. We've got a date. All of that, if you didn't use the wizard, you'd have to do manually. So we don't want to have to do that. Okay, so close the print preview and go to layout. So I'm going to close print preview and then change my view to layout. I'm going to close up my property sheet. All right, change the width of the fee, subtotal, and grand total fields to 0.7. So I'm going to click, and I'm just going to hold shift and click. So this is the fee. This is the subtotal of fee. And then if I scroll all the way down, this last box that's next to grand total, I'm going to shift and click it. So I only have to change the property once. So remember property, we can go to design, property sheet, and then find the width, and we're going to make it 0.7. And now all of those that we just changed for us. So we did that. All right, I'm going to close that up. Do you see I'm off the page? Okay, so let's see, switch to design view. Delete the control that begins with summary 4, right here. Summary 4, we're going to click on that and just hit delete. Change the left property of the sum label, that's this one, to 5 inches. So I'm going to go back to design, property, left, 5. Align subtotal labels and the sum control to the top. subtotal fee label and the sum control to the top. Left align and change the text of the label to B. I didn't change that. So instead of sum, it's going to be subtotal fees. So in this label caption, I changed it. You could also go inside here and change it. All right, I'm going to close that out. Let's stretch that out. So then we're going to take the label and the control. I got confused here. Let's get rid of this. We did that. Change the left property. We did that. And change the text. We did that. Align the subtotal fees label and the sum control to the top. So arrange, align, top. So we did this piece. Change the left property of the grand total label to 5" and change the text of the label to total fees. So we want to find grand total. We're going to go back to properties, change the left to 5 inches, and we're going to change the caption to total fees. So both of those are lined up. These are lined up. So we're good here. I am going to stop the movie at this point, and we'll pick up on step 6 at the next movie. Thank you.